Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. This is Joe, the bearded historian. He'll tell you an interesting story. Be careful of his soldiers, they can be brats. This is Angel, she's an entity. She'll cause chaos and plant her hands at you. This is Sue, she likes spirits, not the alcohol. She's the reason this channel exists. This is David, he likes fire trucks. He's here occasionally. Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. We preserve his story.
Alright, this is a slightly belated Wayback Wednesday. This event happened yesterday, but Joe couldn't resist covering it because it's semi-interesting. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Shout out time. Here's a shout out just for you. You support me, so I support you. This shout out is for our friends. Let's see who it is today. Are you ready? Here we go. We're all lined up. Downhill skiing. Is it snowing outside? Maybe. There we go. Alright, so we've got there's sea tripping, there's reef, there's rock, there's catching, there's Lainey, there's Debbie, Glitter, Paralife, Rowdy, Josie, Travis, Amanda, Susan, Mylinda, I, Carnival, Curzo, Northern Woman, Abundance, Alice, Nikki, Hiking Ontario, Chris, Susan Rambles, Fox Clan, A&M, Bobby, there's Moonsy, there's Spectral, there's Pedro, there's Martin, there's Rook. Oh, it's going to be close one. Who else is he? There's Faces coming from the back. Oh, Crystal's in the front. It's going to be, who is that? Couldn't tell. Martin. Okay, hold on. Okay, Martin Treasure is metal detecting in Canada. Coin, not coal. Hunting, 3D printing, and droning. So here we go. Got some coins. First of all, lots of coins. I'll see some shorts. Ooh, doggo, very cute. And then some lies. So lots of coins in this one. So if that is yours, especially if you are a Canadian, check him out. Like, share, comment. Have a good day. All right, bearded historian, what are we going to learn about today?
Well, for those of you who are old like me,
What?
you tended to remember if you were sick, you'd come home, you'd have your 7-Up or your Sprite, some saltine crackers, and usually you would watch either soap operas or game shows. And your choices on game shows were kind of unique. You had The Price is Right, Card Sharks, more towards the afternoon, Jeopardy snuck on the TV. But one that, during the daytime that was kind of an interesting twist, actually got started on this date quite a while ago, back in 1975, and that was the original Wheel of Fortune.
This date being yesterday, because we're putting this up late.
Exactly. Just a little late. But after all, you got to hand in your papers late. Anyway.
What?
So,
No.
yeah.
That gets me in trouble with the teacher.
Well, just a little bit. But anyway, the key thing to look at here is that Wheel of Fortune started out on the 6th of January, 1975, and the daytime ran until 1989 on June 30th, and then would be subsequently aired from NBC to CBS, July 17th, 1989 to January 11th, 1991. At that time, it would drop over to NBC again on January the 14th, 1991, and would be canceled later that year on the 20th of September, 1991, my dad's birthday. The network daytime and syndicated nighttime versions would actually air concurrently from 1983 until the former conclusion, Now, the network version was originally hosted by Chuck Woolery and Susan Stafford. Woolery would leave in 1981 and was replaced by Pat Sajak.
Who we did the thing on.
Yeah. Now, Sajak left the network version in 1989 to host his own late-night talk show, which didn't last very long, while remaining host of the Nighttime Wheel. Now, Sajak, during the daytime, this was something I did not know about. Scary.
What?
There was a guy whose name was Rolf Brashinki. He used to be a football player with the San Diego Chargers. And in turn, he was replaced by a Bob Goen when the network moved to CBS. Goen remained the host of the second NBC run, and then Stafford left in 1982 to be replaced by Vanna White, who remained on the network show for the rest of its run. The show also had 4 announcers in its history: Charlie O'Donnell, Jack Clark, M.G. Kelly, and Jim Thornton. Now, Sajak, interestingly enough, would retire from the show in June 7th, 2024, finally being replaced by Ryan Seacrest. That changeover happened on September 9th, 2024. Now, Wheel of Fortune ranks as the longest-running syndicated game show in the United States, having 8,000 episodes taped and aired as of June 7th, 2024. That's a lot of freaking episodes.
That's a lot of episodes.
You know, a TV Guide named it the top-rated syndicated series in a 2008 article. In 2013, the magazine ranked it as the number 2 in its list of the 60 greatest game shows ever. The program also has come to gain a worldwide following with 60 international adaptations.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea it was that big. The syndicated series' 41st season premiered on September 11th, 2023, with the show's 36th season in 2018. Sajak became the longest-running host of any game show, surpassing... who?
Bob Barker?
Yep.
No, it was Bob Barker we did.
We did Bob Barker. We haven't done Sajak yet. Sajak's still alive, too. Now, he hosted The Price is Right from 1972 to 2007. Now, 2 spin-offs did occur. The first was a show called Wheel 2000. It was a version featuring child contestants, which aired simultaneously on CBS and Game Show Network between 1997 and 1998. This version's hosts were David Sidoni and Tanika Ray. The latter was the role of a CGI hostess named Cyber Lucy. The second, I'm not sure how that would work in the first place. The second, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, began airing on ABC January 7th, 2021, and would feature celebrities playing a modified version of the game with winnings being donated to charity.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Now, for those of you who have been living under a rock for 50 years, the main game's concept is based on what was known as Hangman. In each round, 3 players compete to be the first to guess the answer to a word puzzle. At the start of each round, the host will reveal the category. In general, puzzles must be read exactly, except for the crossword puzzles, which were added to the show in 2016, where a host gives a clue linking the words, and contestants may give the words in any order, so long as all words are given without repeating or adding any. Wheel of Fortune is also a roulette-style wheel with 24 wedges. Most are labeled with dollar amounts ranging from $500 to $900, with a top value in each round. $2,500 for round 1, $3,500 for rounds 2 and 3, and $5,000 for rounds 4 and any subsequent rounds. The wheel also features 2 large bankrupt wedges and 1 lose-a-turn wedge. Now, landing on either forfeits the contestant's turn, with the bankrupt wedge also eliminating any cash or prizes the contestant has accumulated within the round. Most matches, will have 3 contestants, although some variants feature 3 teams of 2 people each. Contestants who control the spin the wheel to determine a dollar value then guess a consonant. Landing on a dollar amount and calling a correct consonant results in the hostess revealing every instance of that letter, also awarding the value of the spin multiplied by the number of times the letter appears in the puzzle. Letter S is always a popular target.
Right.
So is R. Now, you can also buy a vowel for a flat rate of $250 until no more remain on the puzzle or attempt to solve the puzzle. Then control would pass on to the next contestant clockwise if the contestant lands on a lose a turn or bankrupt, calls a letter not on the puzzle, calls a letter already called in that round, or attempts unsuccessfully to solve the puzzle, or takes too much time to call a letter and decide on the next action. Now, each game does feature 5 toss-up puzzles, in which a random letter is revealed at a time. The first contestant to ring in with the right answer wins a cash bonus. First, worth 1,000, determines the order of the pre-game interviews conducted by the host. The second, worth 2,000, determines who spins first in the first round. The third through fifth, collectively as triple toss-up, takes place prior to the fourth round. The triple toss-up consists of 3 consecutive puzzles, each with the same category and a common theme. Solving any awards $2,000, while solving the third also earns the right to start the fourth round. Now, beginning in 2021, an additional $4,000 is awarded for a total of $10,000 if the same contestant solves all 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. Contestants may only ring in once for each toss-up puzzle, and no cash is awarded if all 3 fail to solve.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know. What am I saying? Now, awarded if all 3 fail to solve. If this occurs, then the contestant closest to the host controls the next portion of the game. In addition to the toss-ups, each game has a minimum of 4 rounds, with more played if time permits. Rounds 2 and 3 are respectively started by the next 2 contestants, and clockwise from the contestant who began round 1. Now, in the 3 rounds, the wheel also contains a wild card over a selected wedge. If this is claimed by calling a correct letter, the contestant may use it after a correct consonant to call a second consonant for the same value as the present spin, or take it to the bonus round. There's also a special wedge that offers a predetermined prize, like a trip or credit to a company. Both also offer $500 per correct letter. The first 3 rounds also contain a special wedge known as the $1 million wedge, in which, if won and taken to the bonus round, offers an opportunity to play for $1 million. The $1 million wedge is also occupied in the same manner as a 10,000 space in the past, which has 2 bankrupt spaces on both sides of the wedge.
Of course.
That's kicking a field goal. Good luck. Takes away the wild card and or the $1 million wedge if either player was claimed in the previous round. So yeah, hitting that little tiny slit is a heck of a trick. Contestants who solve a round for less than 1,000 in cash or prizes have their scores increased to that amount. So I solved it for 100 points. Well, here's 1,000. Or 2, with weeks with 2 contestant teams. Now, round 2 will feature 2 mystery wedges. Calling the correct letter on one offers the chance to accept the face value of $1,000 per letter, or forfeit that to flip over a wedge and see whether its reverse size contains 10,000 cash or bankrupt.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's really throw the odds into somebody's favor. Once one says flip over, the other becomes the standard 1,000 space and cannot be flipped. Round 3 is a prize puzzle, which offers a prize, usually a trip, to the contestant who solves. Since 2013, this round also has an express wedge. The contestant who lands on this space and calls a correct consonant receives $1,000 per appearance. This contestant can then either pass or continue the round normally, or play and keep calling consonants for $1,000 each without spinning, and buying vowels for $250. If the contestant calls an incorrect letter, runs out of time during the express, or solves the puzzle incorrectly, it then is treated as bankrupt. So if you're doing good, it can be valuable. If you are not doing good, you could sink yourself. Now, the final round of every game is played at least part as a speed-up. At this point, the contestant who is in control of the wheel spins one last time, known as the final spin. Prior to season 39, the host performed the final spin, and when the final spin lands on a dollar amount, that amount plus $1,000 is added to create the value of a consonant for the rest of the game, and vowels are free. If the final spin lands on anything that is not a dollar amount, another one is performed until one lands on a dollar amount. The contestant in control then calls a letter. If the letter appears in the puzzle, the hostess reveals all instances of it and moves to the one side of the board. Afterwards, the contestant has 3 seconds to solve the puzzle.
That's so short.
Yeah.
So short. I can't even
Can't think that fast.
think that fast.
Multiple guesses are allowed, and then the contestant must recite the entire correct solution before the buzzer sounds in order to win that round. If the chosen letter is not found in the puzzle, or if the 3-second time expires, control passes to the next contestant. Gameplay continues in this fashion until the puzzle is solved. Now, after the speed-up round, the contestant with the highest total winnings wins the game and advances to the bonus round. Contestants who did not solve any puzzles are awarded a consolation prize of $1,000 or $2,000 with 2 contestant teams. If there's a tie for first place after the speed-up, an additional toss-up puzzle is played between the tied contestants. The contestants who solve the toss-up puzzle wins $1,000 and then advances to the bonus round. Now, since 2017, winning contestants chooses one of the 3 puzzle categories before the round begins. Prior to that, the puzzle was predetermined. After doing so, contestant spins a smaller wheel with 24 envelopes to determine the prize. Now, the puzzle, as revealed, as is in every instance, the letters R, S, T, L, N, and E. Now, those of us who are old school, the reason why they put those up there is that's usually what everybody chooses.
Right, those are the most common.
Yeah, English alphabet, that's what you're looking for. Now, the contestant will now get a choice of 3 more consonants and 1 more vowel, plus a 4th consonant if the contestant has retained the wild card. Now, after any instances of those letters are revealed, the contestant then has 10 seconds to solve the puzzle. In the speed-up round, multiple guesses are allowed, and the contestant must give the entire solution before time expires in order to win. Whether or not the contestant solves the puzzle, the host opens the envelope at the end of the round to reveal the prize at stake. Prizes in the bonus round include various cash amounts ranging from $40,000 to $100,000, as well as a vehicle, with the latter prize only being available in certain weeks. Prior to 2024, it was always available except for certain weeks. Now, if the contestant has a $1 million wedge, the $100,000 envelope is replaced with a $1 million envelope.
Well then.
Now, the $1 million prize has been awarded 3 times to contestants and 1 time to a celebrity for a total of $4 million winners.
Wow.
It was won by Michelle Lowenstein in October 14th, 2008. Autumn Earhard, regular version, May 30th, 2013. Sarah Manchester, regular version, September 17th, 2014. And Melissa Joan Hart.
Ooh. Sabrina.
Yeah. October 17th, 2021.
I think she cheated.
Probably.
She used magic.
She used magic. In the regular version, contestants who win the $1 million may receive it in installments over 20 years or as a lump sum of that amount's present value. Now, previous rules originally, after winning a round, contestants used their winnings to purchase prizes in showcases that were presented on stage, referred to as a shopping round. At any time during the shopping round, a contestant could choose to put his or her winnings either on a gift certificate or on account for use in a later shopping round. Money put on account was lost if the contestant hit bankrupt or failed to solve another puzzle. The shopping element was eliminated from the syndicated version on the episode that aired October 5th, 1987, both to speed up gameplay and to alleviate the taxes paid by contestants. However, the network version continued to use shopping until the end of its first NBC run on June 30th, 1989. I seem to remember that.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, Price is Right used to do that too, where you could have a shopping showdown, if I remember right. Now, before the introduction of toss-up puzzles in 2000, the contestant at the red arrow always started the first round. the next contestant clockwise starting each subsequent round. In addition, ties for first place were broken up by another speed-up round. Now, if a tie for first place occurred on the daytime version, all three players returned to continue the game in the next episode and could be counted as a single appearance. The wheel formerly featured a free spin wedge, which automatically awarded a token that the contestant could turn in. Yep. After a lost turn to keep control of the wheel. It was replaced in 1989 with a single free spin token placed over a selected cash wedge. Free spin was retired in 2009.
I remember that too.
Now, from 2009 to 2021, the wedge also there was the contestant could call any consonant or a free vowel with no penalty if the letter was not in the puzzle or had already been called in the round. Call it a free play wedge. Kind of interesting. Now, between September 16th, 1996 and 2013, the show featured a progressive jackpot wedge, which had been in several different rounds in its history. The jackpot began at $5,000 and had the value of every spin within the round added to it. To claim the jackpot, a contestant had to land on the wedge, call the correct letter, and solve the puzzle all in the same turn.
I think I remember that.
That's a heck of a trick. In later years, it also offered $500 per correct letter and $500 to the jackpot, regardless of whether or not it was won in that turn. The network version allowed champions to appear up to 5 days originally, which was later reduced to 3. The syndicated version, which originally retired contestants after one episode, adopted the 3-day champion rule in 1989. In 1996, this was changed to the top 3 winners from the week's first 4 shows returned to compete in the Friday finals. When the jackpot wedge was introduced, it began at $10,000 instead of $5,000 on Fridays. The rules allowing the returning champions were eliminated permanently, beginning with the syndicated episode aired on my birthday,
Woo!
in 1998, and contestants appeared only on a single episode, reverting back to the pre-1989 rules. The Friday finals were occasionally used for special themed weeks, such as the Nighttime Season 40, using teams consisting of contestants and members of World Wrestling Entertainment as part of WrestleMania 33. Now, before December 1981, the show did not feature a bonus round. However, 2 experimental bonus rounds were attempted before then. In 1978, the episodes featured a round known as the Star Bonus, where a star-shaped token was placed on the wheel. Contestants who picked up the token played an additional round at the end of the game to win 1 of 4 prizes. Whose prizes determined the difficulty of the puzzle. The contestant provided 4 consonants and a vowel, and were given 15 seconds to attempt solving. In 1 week,
Better than 3.
Yeah. In 1 week, the episode started airing in March 8, 1980. Contestants who won the main game were given 30 seconds to attempt to solve a puzzle for a chance to win a luxury automobile. In a week called Super Wheel Bonus Week, the current bonus round was introduced in 1980. No letters were automatically provided. The contestant then asked for 5 consonants and a vowel, and then had 15 seconds to attempt to solve the puzzle. When you only had 10 seconds, you got 5 seconds bonus.
Woo!
Now, the current time limits and rules for letter selection were introduced on October 3rd, 1988, and in the nighttime version from Season 7 to Season 19, bonus prizes were selected by the contestant, choosing from 1 of 5 envelopes labeled WHEEL. 1 prize was always $25,000 in cash, and the rest were changed weekly. Any prize that was won was taken out of the rotation for the rest of the week. From 1998 to 2001, the $25,000 remained in place for each episode during the entire week, regardless if it was won. 3 car envelopes and 2 $25,000 envelopes were available the entire week of shows. Oh, darn, I want another car. The 5-week envelope was replaced by the current bonus wheel on October 22nd, 2001. Now, from seasons 19 to 29, the minimum cash value was $25,000, and in seasons 30 to 40, the minimum was $1,000 multiplied by the season's number. Now, Merv Griffin conceived the Wheel of Fortune using inspiration from Hangman, which he would play with his sister on family road trips. After he discussed the idea with Merv Griffin Enterprises staff, they thought the idea would work as a game show if it had a hook. He decided to add a roulette-style wheel because he was always drawn to such wheels when he saw them in casinos. He and Merv Griffin Enterprises, then President Maury Schwartz, consulted an executive of Caesar's Palace to find out how to build such a wheel. When Griffin pitched the idea for the show to Lynn Boland, then head of NBC's daytime programming division, she approved but wanted the show to have more glamour to attract the female audience. She suggested that Griffin incorporate a shopping element to the gameplay. So in 1973, he created a pilot episode titled Shopper's Bazaar with Chuck Woolery as the host and Mike Lawrence as the announcer. The pilot started with 3 contestants being introduced individually, with Lawrence describing the prizes that they chose to play for. The main game was played in 4 rounds, with the values on the wheel wedges increasing after the second round. Unlike the show it evolved into, Shopper's Bazaar had a vertically mounted wheel, which was spun automatically rather than by the contestants. This wheel lacked the bankrupt wedge and featured the wedge where a contestant could call a vowel for free, as well as your own clue wedge that allowed contestants to pick up a rotary telephone and hear a private clue about the puzzle. At the end of the game, the highest scoring contestant would play the bonus round, called the Shopper Special, where all the vowels in the puzzle were already there, and the contestant had 30 seconds to call out the consonants in the puzzle. Now, Ed Burns, an actor from 77 Sunset Strip, served as the host for the second and third pilots, both titled Wheel of Fortune. These pilots were directed by Marty Pachetta, who gave the show an aesthetic that more closely resembled the look and feel of an actual show, ended up having a wheel that was now spun by the contestants themselves on a lighted mechanical puzzle board with letters that were now manually turnable. Showcase prices on these pilots were located behind the puzzle board, and during shopping segments, a list of prizes and their price values scrolled on the right of the screen. By the time production began in December of '74, Woolery was selected to host, and the choice being made by Griffin after he reportedly heard Burns reciting A-E-I-O-U to himself in an effort to remember the vowels. In his autobiography, Burns acknowledged being intoxicated during the pilot's taping.
Whoops.
Susan Stafford turned the letters on Burns' pilot episodes, a role that she also held when the show was picked up as a series. Now, they talk about, Pat Sajak. He did the daytime version from 1981 to 89, and the nighttime version from 1983 to 2024, and has hosted the celebrity spinoff since 2021. Ralph Berschenke again took over the hosting duties of the daytime show in January of 89. Nolan took over for him until the cancellation in 1991. And then Ryan Seacrest, from
the most recent
New Year's Eve celebrations, took over for Pat Sajak with the 42nd syndicated season. Now, the original host, like they were saying, he took over in 75 and did it until December 25th, 1981, save for 1 week in August 1980, when this fellow replaced him for one week. Any idea who?
God, that sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't think of who it was.
Alex Trebek.
Oh.
From Jeopardy fame, yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. He hosted in his place. Woolery's departure came over a salary dispute with Merv Griffin, and his contract was not renewed. Well, on December the 28th, 1981, in came Pat Sajak to debut. Griffin said he chose Sajak for the odd sense of humor. NBC president and CEO Fred Silverman objected that he felt Sajak, who at the time of his hiring was the weatherman for KNBC, was too local for a national audience.
I did not know that.
Griffin countered by telling Silverman he would stop production if Sajak was not allowed to become host, and Silverman requested, he's in it or we're out. Sajak hosted the series again, like we were saying, until 1989, when he left to host a late-night talk show for CBS. Show's producer, the show's producers auditioned a number of potential successors upon his departure, and potential replacements included Michael Reagan, John Davidson, Burt Convey, and Tom Brando. Again, Ralph Pershingke from the National Football League was chosen as a replacement. Hosted for a little more than 5 months, Pershingke's term came to an end due to the NBC's cancellation of the daytime wheel after 14 years, with the final episode airing June 30th, 1989. When the newly formatted daytime series as its host returned to CBS on July 17th, Bob Golan became its host. The daytime program continued for a year and a half on CBS and then returned back to the NBC on January 14th, 1991, and continued until September 20th that year. And canceled for the second and final time. Well, Susan Stafford, original hostess, served at that role from the premiere until October 1982. Stafford was absent for 2 extended periods. Once in 1977 after fracturing 2 vertebrae in her back.
Ouch.
And once in 1979 after an automobile accident.
Oh.
Yeah. During these 2 extended absences, former Miss USA Summer Bartholomew was Stafford's most frequent substitute, with model Cynthia Washington and comedian Artie Johnson also filling in for Stafford. Well, after Stafford left to become a humanitarian worker, over 200 applicants signed up in a nationwide search to be her replacement.
Wow.
Yeah. Griffin...
Everybody wanted to be...
The lady standing up there flipping the letters, yeah. Now, interestingly enough, it came down to 3 finalists, which was Susan Bartholomew, former Playboy centerfold Vicky McCarty, and who else? Vanna White. Griffin each gave the 3 women an opportunity to win the job by putting them in a rotation for several weeks after Stafford's departure. And in December 1982, Griffin named White as Stafford's successor, saying that felt she was capable of activating the puzzle board letters, which was the primary role for the wheel hostess.
Isn't everybody capable of activating them? All you have to do is, tap them.
Yeah, go over and spin.
I mean, it's not like it takes a genius to do that.
Yeah. Of course, that board's also changed over the years, too, because now it's just a tap board. Before, it was actual rotation. And one lady, I remember one time Vanna White was absent, and the lady couldn't figure out how to spin the letters, and she actually spun the wrong letter one time, too, which was hilarious. I'm like, your first and last appearance on Wheel of Fortune. But, White became highly popular among the young female demographic and also gained a fan base of adults interested in her daily wardrobe, a phenomenon which has been referred to as Vanamania. White also hosted the daytime version until cancellation in 91, except for 1 week when Stafford returned so White could recover after her fiancé, John Gibson, died in a plane crash.
Aww.
Yeah. Now, Sajak and White have starred on the syndicated version continuously as host and hostess, respectively, since it began, except for very limited occasions. During 2 weeks of January 1991, Tricia Gifts, the girlfriend and future wife of Griffin's son, Tony, filled in for White when she and her new husband, restaurateur George Sanpietro, were honeymooning. Gifts returned for the week of episodes during March 11th through 15th in 1981 because White had a cold at the time of taping. On an episode when Sajak proved unable to host the bonus round segment because of laryngitis, he and White actually traded places for the segment.
That's fun.
Yeah. On March 4th, 1997 episode, Rosie O'Donnell co-hosted the third round with White after O'Donnell's name was used in a puzzle. On April 1st, what else is April 1st? 1997, Sajak and Alex Trebek traded jobs for the day.
I think that's fun, though.
Yeah, Sajak hosted the day's edition of Jeopardy in place of Trebek, and Trebek presided over a special two-contestant wheel celebrity match between Sajak and White, who were playing for the Boy Scouts of America and American Cancer Society, respectively. Leslie Sajak, Pat's wife, was the guest hostess for the day. In January and February 2011, the show held a Vanna for a Day contest where home viewers submitted video auditions to take White's place for one episode, with the winner determined by a poll on the show's website. The winner of this contest, Katie Cantrell of Wooster, Ohio, a student at Savannah College of Art and Design, took White's place for his second and third rounds of the episode that aired on March 24th,
That's
2011.
technically not a day.
No, that's like two-thirds of a day.
Yeah, it's not even half a day.
Yeah. In November of 2019, 3 weeks of episodes were taped with White hosting in Sajak's place while he recovered from intestinal surgery. During her time as hostess, several guests appeared at the puzzle board, including costume performers of Mickey and Minnie Mouse during the Secret Santa shows, and Maggie Sajak, Sajak's daughter, the latter of which appeared on the May 10th, 2023 episode of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, due to White being a contestant. Maggie joined the show as a special correspondent, making appearances similar to the Clue Crew on the companion program Jeopardy! In September 2021.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Now, June 12th, 2023, Sajak announced he would be leaving the wheel at the end of the 41st season. A few weeks later, Ryan Seacrest was announced to be the new host starting in September 2024. Seacrest further stated he was looking forward to working alongside White. On September 19th, 2023, Sony had announced that White had extended her contract for an additional 2 years to continue to co-host through the 2025-26 season.
Interesting.
White was absent from the week of episodes airing October 2nd through 6th due to her testing positive for COVID. Taking her place for these episodes were schoolteacher Bridget Donald Blue, who was named Teacher of the Year for the 2023 by California
so White was
Teachers
replaced by
Association.
Blue. Oh dear.
Oh yeah, what a name. Sajak's final syndicated episode aired on June 7th, 2024, and was announced on July 11th, 2024, that because of American Idol auditions likely to occur, that it'll take up Ryan Seacrest's time, Sajak will host the upcoming Celebrity season on ABC. So, but as they continue to make episodes, get to continue watching the wheels do their spin. Locally, if I remember right, I think it's at 6 o'clock.
I don't know.
Right after our local news. And then after that, you get to see Jeopardy. But again, this is a little late. But, happy birthday to Wheel of Fortune. And continue to spin along.
Spin the wheel.
This has been the Bearded Historian.
Right, baby, right. Sorry.
Why they never use that song in there, I have no idea.
They should do it at least once, like maybe an April Fool's thing.
Something for a celebrity.
Every time they spin the wheel, they just have to play that song.
Have to jive. But this has been the Bearded Historian. You folks have a good year. We'll talk to you later.
Oh, we're wholly ending the year now?
Yes.
Why?
I'm retiring. Just kidding.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.